Jen. Lots of people joining us. Awesome.
Yeah, welcome everyone.
Here we go. We're live.
All right.
Thanks, Justin.
Fantastic. Thanks everyone for joining us on this wonderful morning, and all the people that have come from the different places around the world and getting up early and staying up late. That's awesome. Justin, thank you very much for hosting today. Jeanie, I love the support of all the leaders all the time. It's amazing. And I'd like to welcome the legendary Larry. And if you're in Australia, we call him Lazza. So today, Larry's just a legend. So I think everyone on this call knows about Jeanie and has got their Genie Go. So Larry, if you wouldn't mind, just for anyone that hasn't been on this call before, we've just got a couple of newbies. If you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit about you and the story behind Jeanie, if you've got a couple of minutes to do that, please.
Sure, love to. Never skip an opportunity to tell that story. That story is the story of me. I am a technology entrepreneur since clear back in college, which was a long, long time ago for me. This white hair isn't for nothing. And I spent a bunch of years as a technology entrepreneur, starting and selling software companies. And then I had this very strange experience where I got sucked into network marketing. Can any of you relate to that, right? My life took a turn and I encountered the bright side. And I got to work with all of these entrepreneurs, all of you, for about a decade of my career. But part of that experience was working with companies that are less friendly than ASEA. And one of the things that I learned, sadly, was that not everybody succeeds in this business. And some of those people get hurt by companies that can hurt and by leaders that can hurt. And I hated that. And it drove me from the industry. But this industry never lets you stay away. And the pull of working with you entrepreneurs kept at me, and I returned to merge my passions, which are technology and network marketing, into one thing, which is my life's work. And for the last 6 years, I've been working at my vision. My mission is that I believe that anybody who has the desire and the willingness to work should be able to succeed at network marketing, period. And that the people that don't succeed are not succeeding because they don't have the tools that they need. Now, if you don't work or you don't have the desire, that's not my fault. But if you do, I believe that I can help you succeed, and that I should help you succeed, and that nobody should fail for the wrong reasons. And so out of that idea, Jeanie was born 6 years ago. And I've been working with ASEA and all of you ever since. And we have been iterating and perfecting and experimenting with ways to make a tool like that all this time. Last year, has it only been last year now? I guess a year and a half ago, we launched Genie Go. Or was it just last year? I don't know. 2020 is a blur, isn't it? 2020 never happened. So it was the year before that. We launched Genie Go, and Genie Go is the latest iteration of this mission. And what makes it uniquely different and awesome is that we finally realized, and fortunately our company did too, ASEA finally realized, that the best people to figure out how to deliver this technology are field leaders. Only successful field leaders actually know how to build successful businesses in network marketing. Only they know the tools that are needed. Only they know the process that works. Only they know the right sequence of training. And only they can get it right. And corporate can make tremendous materials and great compensation plans and execute on shipping and charge credit cards and all kinds of great stuff that we need, but they can't do those things, try as they might. And so Genie Go in its latest version is that we provide a publishing tool to your field leaders that let them publish exactly what you need and work with you on it. And for all of you then have the tools to track your businesses, to contact the people that you want to contact, and to bring them into your business as customers or associates. That's Genie Go in a nutshell. Now, I should have started right off with thank you, Sharon. That Sharon had a call with me. How long ago has it been? Probably 3 weeks ago, and had the vision to say we should put together a call for my team and train on Genie Go. And so we did that. A couple of weeks ago, we had that training. It went great, I think. I hope it went great. And it went well enough that we got invited back to do it again. But this call has expanded beyond that vision. This was going to be Genie Go training number 2 for Sharon's team. And what it has instead expanded to is a Facebook Live around the world, the Shine Bright team in general. And so I've had to kind of scramble to think, how can we both provide value for Sharon's team and for all of you who might be coming to Genie Go for the first time, or I think as I'm looking around this call, you're my family. I've known most of you for at least 5 years. And you know Genie Go. So how can I provide value for all of you? So I'm going to make an attempt at that. This is a kind of a different call. So we're going to be a little bit ad hoc about this, a little non-linear. This isn't just a rote training. This is a bunch of tips and tricks and secret information and specials and all of that hopefully adds value for everybody on this call. Now, if that's not you, if that doesn't sound great, if you're looking for, get me started right from the beginning, let's do a linear training, we have those too. We do several scheduled trainings every week. Go to the Genie Go Facebook group. It's actually called Genie Go app. And our training schedule is there, and join us for a linear training. And I can't wait to help you with that. But today, what are we going to do? Today, let's talk about some common questions, the most common questions I get for Genie Go. I'm going to cover those first. Then we're going to dig into kind of the next step for Sharon's team. There's one part of Genie Go we didn't talk about, which is the More menu. It's the part we train on least. We're going to go in a little bit on the More menu. Then I'm going to introduce all of you who may not be Pro subscribers to the juicy benefits of being Pro and what you get with Pro, including the Genie Go website, which is awesome and a benefit for Pro subscribers. And finally, we're going to close out with some slides on the benefits of Pro and how you can subscribe, and a special for you. If you want to subscribe, a limited time special that'll let you save some money doing it. Save a lot of money doing it, okay? So let's jump in. Some common questions and answers, tips and tricks. First one, and I'm gonna be sharing my phone screen today, and I'm going to be sharing my laptop screen as well. But let's start with my phone screen. One of the most frequent questions we get, sadly, is I can't get logged in. So you wouldn't think we'd have to even talk about that, but let's talk about that. Okay, so I'm going to log out of my Genie Go. So we start right at the very beginning. How do you log into Genie Go? Well, right here, when it says username or associate ID, just use your associate ID. No ambiguity here. Use your associate ID here. If you have never ever used Genie Go before, and I'm going to put in for my associate ID a fake associate ID because I'm a fake associate. Okay, and for your password right here, I want you to type in, if it's your very first time logging in ever to Genie Go, ever, use your associate ID again. You can log in one time using your associate ID in both places. Once you've done it the first time, Genie's going to ask you for your Genie password, and you're going to use a permanent password from then on. Now, what if you've forgotten your password? That's common. It's especially common recently because we used to synchronize passwords with the SIA. We don't. Now that we've realized that it's better for us to be separate so that we can do what we're best at, we have separate passwords. So if you've forgotten yours, this little thing right down here, forgot my password, if you touch on forgot my password, it looks like this. We're going to ask you for your associate ID, and we will send you your credentials. We know what your what your email address and your phone number are, and we're going to both text and email you a temporary password to help you get logged in, okay? So it's that easy. Forgot your password, you can do that anytime. Now, we recommend when you set your own password that you set a password that's easy. You're going to be typing this on a little phone screen every now and then. Don't make yourself type in something crazy on a phone screen. You'll fat finger it and then you'll think that Jeannie's not smart. It's not true. Jeanie always gets it right, but you don't always get it right. And then check this Remember Me box, which will keep you from having to log in unless you manually log yourself out, okay? So we're gonna log into Genie Go now. That's tip 1. Simple password and use your associate ID your very first time if you're a new person. And all of you are leaders, most of you are. So now you know when your brand new person downloads their free Genie Go app, just tell them to use their associate ID in both spots and they'll get started. All right, second tip. This is something we've covered if you've ever been part of a Genie Go training, but it's one of our most frequent questions is how do I manage these great big lists? I have 2,000 contacts here, or I have a library that's got 350 things in it. You know, how do I possibly work my way through all of that? Well, don't, right? Having lots of information can be overwhelming or not. And the way you keep it from being overwhelming is you need to learn to manage lists. So we're going to review, for those of you who've already been through it, this is going to be a quick review. If you're new to it, this may go too fast, but this is being recorded. You can go back and review. To search any list, libraries, contacts, training, there's a search bar right here at the top of every list in Genie Go, and you can search. So if I search for something like Justin, I'll bet Justin's in here somewhere. Well, that's a different Justin than I was looking for, but there's a Justin. Or I search for a Via. I start typing Via, and you can see Via right here. And you can see that every one of these things that's in my list here has the word Via in it. So it's very quick, right? I took 350 things and I narrowed it down to maybe 20 things, just like that. Now, below the search bar, you see this bar. This bar describes for you how this list is presented and why you see it the way you see it. This little blue box tells you how the list is sorted. So the most recently added things to the library are on top right now. And this red box is the most important thing I want you to take away from this top tip. This search box, this red box is a filter, and it tells you why you're not seeing 350 things in this list. You're only seeing a few because it's being filtered by the search contents. So I'm seeing currently only the search contents. You see that little X in the search box? If I touch that little X, I will clear the filter, and now I'm looking at everything again. Now this applies to the library. It applies to contacts. If I search contacts for Justin, right there, I get all of the Justins in my life, just like that. And you can see, again, I have my filter box. All right. Last tip on searching and sorting is here. This little button right next to the search bar is the sort and filter button. If I touch that, I get to modify my list by limiting it to just the things that match a filter. So for example, if I want to see just the things that are in the charity category of my list, I can apply that, and there's just the charity things. Now I just noticed that I am looking at a version of Genie Go that is not this team's version. So I'm going to quickly show you how to switch that. If you're a pro user, you can choose from upline teams. I'm going to switch from this team to the Shine Bright team. And you're going to see one of the huge benefits of Genie Go is that every team in ASEA can have their own content. And Justin and Nicole and their leaders, your leaders, have got a version of Genie Go that's all of your content. Okay, so we're now looking at the right team. That's tip 2, searching, sorting, filtering. Tip 3, when we are creating any sort of message or something in Genie Go, anytime you have to type, you're going to want to type. I'm going to add a note to my contact right here as an example. When you need to type something, don't type. typing is so last year. We dictate to our devices these days, right? These devices are amazing at understanding what we have to say. At the bottom of your keyboard, I'm on an iPhone right here. There's a little microphone that I can touch to have it start listening to me and type what I say. The same is true on all devices. Your Android device has one. It'll look a little slightly different, but look for the little microphone button and we can just type to it. So this is an example of typing using my voice so that I can get things done quickly and accurately, period. And I touch my screen and it's done. Look at that. Now, how long would it have taken you to type that if you didn't use your voice, right? Forever, and you'd have made a lot of mistakes. So boom, anytime you have to type to Genie, do it that way. And you will love Genie that much more. Next tip. Most of our sharing these days is not email. You know, just 5 years ago, we were all sharing with email. These days, we use something else. How should we share? Should we use text? Should we use WhatsApp? Should we use WeChat, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, LinkedIn? The answer is yes. What you use to send your messages depends on who you're sending them to. You meet each contact where they live. If you meet somebody on Facebook Messenger, you're going to communicate with them that way. If you meet somebody at the beach and they're a text messenger, then you're going to be text messaging with them. And however it is you want to contact them. So when you want to contact them in their own way, I'm going to do a quick share here. Let's touch share. And I'm going to choose something to share. I'll just pick something here, trading time for freedom. I'll type next, touch next. I've got a message that's going to pop up here, a message template that's preparing my message. Okay, so here's a really basic message, and I could send this by text or email, or here's the key, other. Other means every single other thing. So if I touch other, I will send this message using an other way. Well, what other way is that? Well, I don't know. I don't know what apps you have. I don't know who your friends are. I don't know how you communicate with them, but you know who does know? Your phone, because you're using your phone to do that all the time. So if I come down here to the lower right corner and I touch share, Genie is going to talk to your phone and say, Larry just created a message. It has links in it. He'd like to share it with using an app on the phone. And the phone says, great, I got it. I'll show you all the apps that can do that. And here I am. Look on my phone here. My phone is telling me that I could share using my texting app. I could share using Facebook Messenger, Slack, LinkedIn, WeChat, Pinterest, Outlook, Mail, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Your list is going to look different than that. You're going to have different things on your list. I've got other things here that I can send with Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp, right? Lots of different things. The list will depend on what you have loaded on your phone, and what you have loaded on your phone are the things that you use to talk to people right now. So if we wanted to share with somebody on my Facebook Messenger, I can just touch Messenger and do that. Now, recognize that you're not using Genie at this point. You're using your phone and another app. When I touch Messenger, I'm actually in Facebook Messenger. Genie sent Messenger the message. Here it is. Genie took care of that for me. But now I've got to use Facebook Messenger, find the person I want to send to. I'm just going to choose myself, find myself. There I am. I check the box. I'm going to send the Facebook Messenger out. And just like that, Genie used Facebook Messenger to send a message and then kept a record of it. So how can Genie share? Every single way that you share, she can share. I've seen lots of people lately picking up Telegram and Signal and so many other ones, right? And they all work with Genie Go. There you go. That's tip number 4. Tip number 5, we're going to take this screen right here. I shared a message, and here's the indication that I shared it. If I touch right here, this little arrow, I can see what I shared, trading time for money. I could touch right here and view the message that I shared. There it is. That's what I shared. Right now, this says that I shared trading time for money, but it doesn't say that it was viewed because it wasn't, right? I shared it with myself and I haven't viewed it. Let's see what happens to this when I do view it. So I'm going to, and I'm sorry, this is beyond the scope of the call. I'm going to go swap and find Facebook Messenger. I'm now looking at my Facebook Messenger. Here it is. I'm going to look at the message that I just sent myself. And there it is. Here's some info I gathered for you. And right there, I've got the link that I sent. And if I touch that link, I see this is what my prospect is going to see. I see that video in a viewer right here. I can start viewing it, right? I can scroll through that message. I can pause, start and stop, leave the message. Oh, now look at that. Look what just popped up on my screen. A text message from Jeanie. Jay Go, that's Jeanie Go. Larry McFarland just clicked a link you sent for the first time, trading time for money to time freedom. Details in Jeanie Go. That text message came within seconds of my prospect viewing what I sent them, and I got it because I'm a pro subscriber. Pro subscribers get those messages and lots of others about their businesses. Okay, so now if we go back to Jeanie Go, I'm going to go back there. Here's another tip for you. Anytime you see a list, my activity, my contacts, my library, my training, anytime you see a list, I can refresh the contents of the list by touching my finger anywhere on the list, that's anywhere here, and pulling straight down the screen. So I'm going to touch right here and pull down, and Jeanie reloads the contents of the list. Notice that this changed now. This message I shared now says viewed one time, 49% of the way through, trading. All right, I can't see the whole thing. If I want to see the rest of what's written here, I touch and hold my finger right here on this line and watch what happens. It expands it so I can see the whole thing. I'll do that again. Trading time for money to time freedom, okay? So I can see how many times it was viewed and the maximum amount of it was viewed. This is super helpful when you reach out to your prospect to follow up with them. These details are available. That it was viewed, the word viewed will change from this used to say shared, now says viewed. That shared to viewed transition happens for everybody, free and pro. The 1x 49% portion of this is a benefit to our pro subscribers. They get full details on exactly how they interacted with the video. Okay? That's your next tip. Helpful, I hope. Next, when we are viewing things, now you notice when I viewed that video, like your prospect will view it, we heard that video playing. We didn't just see it, we heard it. But when I view things inside Jeanie Go, which your prospects won't do, only you will do that. When you view things inside Jeanie Go, I'm going to start viewing this one right now. I'm first going to mute it. I start viewing and I'm not hearing anything. I turn it sideways. I can see this great video the company produced, but I am not hearing anything. I'm not hearing anything because the switch on the side of my phone, if you can see in my camera, the switch on the side of my phone is in silent mode. It's how I turn the ringer off, right? Jeanie Go cares about the position of that switch. If you have your ringer switch off, you won't hear the video. But if you flip it up, turn the mute off or down, whichever way it is, I can't remember, up for me. Now we're hearing it. Okay, so the switch is the answer. Another of the most common questions we get. Your prospects won't have that issue because they don't use the same viewer. All right, stop that. Next, your favorites list. Actually, I'm going to hold that for pro benefits in just a bit. One more about the app. Occasionally, and I would like to say rarely, but occasionally, Jeanie Go will lose her mind. We're still working on some things and occasionally she gets confused. If you ever find that Jeanie Go is not behaving as you expect her to, you can almost always fix everything by logging out of the app and logging back in again. How do I do that? I use this more menu. Let's go look at this more menu right here in the bottom right corner of Jeanie Go. If I touch on more, I have log out is one of my options. Log out, settings, and feedback. Log out is just exactly what you think. If we touch log out, we'll go back to the login screen. We'll have to put our password back in again, but it will cause Jeanie to reload all of your information from the Jeanie cloud. It doesn't take long, it takes maybe 5 seconds, and you're going again, and she'll have her mind back. And I don't think you should have to do that very often, but if you ever do, before you panic, log out and log back in again. All right. Now let's talk about these two options. Feedback. Feedback at the top of the screen allows you to talk to Jeanie Go's support team and developers and to your uplines should you have suggestions or compliments or problems for Jeanie Go. So for example, you want to say, I'm going to touch right there and then touch my microphone and say, I'm loving Jeanie Go, exclamation point. Thank you for this great tool, exclamation point. Okay. You do have to speak properly. Now, I can send that and that will go to Jeanie Go's support team. And they'll share compliments like that. In fact, if you use this love box, the entire Jeanie engineering team will get it too. If you touch one of these other boxes up here, it will just help us more quickly categorize your feedback. It might just be feedback about it. It might be reporting a problem, asking a support question, or this one is especially important, suggesting content. One of the great secret weapons that we have as network marketers is that we work together a lot. We're a team and we can help each other make things better. Your team leaders have put together Jeanie Go with all the content that you see, but maybe a word is confusing, or maybe there's a library file that's missing, or something's become out of date. If you see something like that, suggest content, tell them what you want it to have, and then check this box, copy my team leaders. That will result in the people who are in charge of the content of Jeanie Go, including Justin and Nicole, they'll get your message when you send it off. In fact, I'll do it right now, and I know Justin will have that message in a few seconds, okay? That's send feedback. Now, I also want to talk about settings here. When we talk about settings, we're mostly talking to pro users. Pro users can customize Jeanie Go in a lot of ways. The personal settings right here are for everybody. I could change my name or the email address Jeanie Go uses to reach me right here. The phone number Jeanie Go uses to text me right here. So those things are useful to everybody. But pro subscribers have some other benefits. They can customize the way Jeanie Go works for them. For example, which of the sharing templates come up by default, and they can have their own personal template. How are the lists filtered by default? My library automatically comes up with my favorites. Favorites are a benefit specifically for pro users. How's my list sorted? My contact list sorted by default. All of these settings can be set by pro subscribers so that Jeanie Go works the way you like best and is most efficient for you, okay? Now, I recommend if you're new or learning Jeanie Go, don't bother with any of these. Learn Jeanie Go the way your team leaders intended you to use it. But as you become proficient and you find, I'd really prefer a different sort, I'd really prefer a different filter, then you can come in here and make those decisions for yourself. I also want to point out here in business settings that Jeanie Go is ready to work in a lot of different languages. You're going to have growing teams that speak other languages. So for example, let's say Chinese. right? If you've got people in Malaysia or Singapore or Hong Kong, Taiwan, we can change Genie Go into another language. She reloads all of the text in the app, and in just a few seconds, we should see, there we go. We're seeing Genie Go entirely now in Chinese. Isn't that amazing? Fortunately, I can't read Chinese, but I do remember where the settings are, and I can go back and set my language to something I can speak. Here, let's find English again and get us back. But you can see that there are a whole bunch of languages in here. All the ones with the smiley face by them have been fully translated and are available to you today. All right. Another pro template under communications, or pro tip, under communication settings here, you can have your own message templates. If you'd like to have your own email text that comes up each time, you can do that here. Your own text or other. Text and other are the same, your own text template. If you'd like your own email signature, you can set those things right here, touch them and edit them right here in Genie Go and save them again. Again, that's something available just to our pro subscribers. All right, one of the things that I mentioned for pro subscribers, I want to go demonstrate quickly, and then we're going to move off the app. And that is favorites. In our library, if we go back to library, notice that my personal default filter is favorite. Rather than this saying search now, it says favorite. These are my personal favorites. And I've marked a bunch of files in the Genie library as my favorites. These are unique to me. You can do the same. I'm going to uncheck that favorites box, make it go away here, and say we have the Genesis video, right? We all like Genesis. So I look up Genesis. I see a Genesis Founders video, 16 minutes. I touch on that. Here I can view this video without sound because my mute is on. But if this is something that I want to use more frequently, I can touch this little heart right here, favorite that video, and now that video is on my favorites list, and I can use it automatically going forward. If I change my filter to favorites, there we go. You can see that the ASEA Genesis Founders video is now on my favorites list. To get it off my list, I just come back here, touch the favorites box again, turn that heart hollow, it's off my list. Okay, so use your favorites filter if you're a pro subscriber. Saves you lots of time and makes your app feel like it's custom just for you. All right, now we've got not too many of us on this call today by Zoom. So I do welcome, as we get deeper into this call, if you want to ask any questions, feel free to put them into the chat or interrupt, and we'd be happy to help you. Okay, next thing I want to do is go look at, many of you, back in the day, we started this whole ball rolling with a web app. The Genie, it was actually the ASEA Business Coach when we first started back in 2015. And it was just on the web. We didn't have a mobile app for years. So we still have that. It's evolved and has a lot of things in it that aren't yet available in the mobile app. So I want to introduce you to that. If you haven't seen that app yet, I'm going to share my screen now. We're going to share my browser. And if I can find it here, where's my browser? And now I have it.
Okay, great question from Nellie. Thank you, Nellie. Is Arabic an optional language?
Is Arabic? Not yet, but that is a great question. What about languages that aren't yet supported? Well, how about you help us make them supported? One of the, as I said earlier, Genie Go is a collaboration between all of us. Every translation that you see in Genie Go today, and there are 7, we have 7 languages available in Genie Go today, were all translated by associates. If you'd like to help us translate into Arabic, we can provide you with everything you need to do that. Now, I know nothing at all about Arabic other than it's impossible for me to read and it goes right to left. So I don't know how hard it is to translate English to Arabic, But I do know the people that have been translating from English to other Latin-based languages are typically completing the entire translation in around 2 hours. So it's not a ton of work. And if you'd like to contribute, reach out to me, larry@jixity.com. I'll get you what you need and we'll put it in Arabic. Now that just gets the app into Arabic. There's still all the CCIA library content and training content, and that doesn't automatically translate those things. But you can probably help your leaders translate those things too if Arabic becomes important. So that was an answer for Arabic, but it applies to any language. Okay, we're gonna go now to the Genie Go website. You're looking at my browser, and I'm going to type here in the search bar, geniego.com. Surprise, right? Exactly what you'd think, geniego.com. I type in geniego.com and I'm being asked for my associate ID and my password. And these are exactly the same credentials that I use for the mobile app. No difference. Okay. I'm going to type login, touch login. And because I am a pro subscriber, I have 2 accounts. Every pro subscriber is allowed 2 accounts. If you work with a partner, your spouse or significant other or a business partner, you can create a second account for them so they have their own contacts, their own training records, their own message templates. All of that is their own, and you can just choose each time you log in which one of your accounts you're using. So I'm going to, of course, log into the Larry account. And here we have Genie Go Desktop. Now, Genie Go Desktop includes much of the same functionality as Genie Go Mobile and then some. So here I am in my contacts module on the left side of my screen. I have the modules of Genie Go Desktop: contacts, team, training, library, settings. Notice that some of those are the same as the mobile app. Contacts, training, library, settings is like more. Team is entirely new. And all of the modules are richer. So here I am in my contact list, and instead of seeing just the list and then looking at one contact at a time, I'm looking at a lot more information. This is helpful. I also get to use a keyboard. That makes me really fast. But notice that it's the same information. Remember, we shared a message using the mobile app just a few minutes ago. Here's that message, this little blue plus sign. I'd open that up. I can see there that we viewed it one time, 49%, trading time for money to time freedom. I can see more of it here on the screen. I can touch on the message and see what the message was, right? So there's just a lot more room to work here. I want to also point something out here. I didn't have time in the mobile app, but I'm going to show you right here. I have some comments about this contact. This is the Larry contact. And I put in my comments, drives for Uber, golf, running, hiking. These are interests of Larry's, or things about Larry that I wanted to put in when I learned. I can then, in my mobile app, if I do this consistently, I could type in hiking and I would find Larry. I would also find everyone else that I typed in hiking about. So perhaps I have a group of friends that I meet at church or at the club, or my surfing buddies. I can put in church or club or surfs and search for those anytime and bring up my list of people from church or the club or surfing, right? Really great way to organize your contents. This technique is called tagging. So you tag them with a word that you'll remember, and you can group your contacts that way. Something that we added just a couple months ago, really, really useful. All right, I want to show you one module of the desktop here that is only available in the desktop version. It will come later this year to the mobile app, but only for pro subscribers, and that's the team manager. If we touch team here, I'm looking at a team that is, this is kind of boring because I'm not a real associate. I have permission from Bobby Martin to show his team anytime I want. So I'm going to find Bobby. What I'm doing right here, guys, is oh, I got the wrong contact here. Is is a tool that we use internal to Genie. There we go. There's Bobby. And I'm going to bring up Bobby's team manager because he's got a bunch of people on his team and it'll be much more interesting for you to see. So here I have my entire team. This is all of Bobby's downline. All of his associates are listed here. You can sort them in different ways. They're currently sorted by lifetime highest rank or title, but they could be sorted by qualified rank or when they enrolled or what their first or last name are. I've got them all here and I can drill down into them. So Justin and Nicole, for example, are right here. Or if we touch on Justin and Nicole, we can drill into Justin and Nicole. And there we have their team and continue David Penrose, right? Can drill down and there's your entire organization. How did this get in here? As you enroll people, ASEA shares the information automatically with Genie and we automatically create this list for you. Now notice over here on the right side, we have some special information you can't get in the back office. We have a lot of information you do get in the back office, like here's for this week, a couple of weeks ago, here's Bobby's progression through ranks during the course of a week, qualified a gold executive that particular week. But also information from Genie. Here are all of the messages, text messages that Genie Go sent to him during the week. Every message that Genie Go emailed to him during the week, right? There's just a lot of rich information and I can see that about any of my downline. I can also see all of my customers. Here's all of Bobby's preferred and retail customers. Again, sorted by whichever way I want to look at them. I can see Bobby's upline, which is pretty short. Yours may be much longer and some people have 30 people in their upline. Okay, I can see some watch list people that Genie has identified as the top 10 enrollers in Bobby's team this month, top contactors, top rank advancers, and so on. So just lots and lots of good information here that you can get if you're a pro subscriber. And a lot of that is easier to get at than you can get at. A lot of that information you simply can't get out of the back office, but you can get it quickly here as part of Genie Go. Okay. Hope that that's useful for you. We love that tool and it gets more and more rich all the time. I could demo that for a whole hour just by itself. Okay, I want to show you now. We've been talking about Pro a little bit and I don't want this to be just a promotional call, but it kind of turns out to be that way because Pro is just so awesome that I wanted to show you what is in Pro. That's too big a question and too big an answer to give you the complete details, but I can give you a bunch. So let me do that right now. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's see. There we go. Okay, are you seeing my slides right now? Yeah. No? What do you, are you, no, not seeing slides.
I'm seeing slides now, but it's just small.
It's just small, okay.
I'm seeing the whole desktop. You're sharing the desktop.
What are we seeing now?
Genie Go desktop.
I shared the wrong thing somehow.
I can see the slide deck there, but
all right, well, we're going to do it this way then. Okay, it's not slide mode, but it's good enough. Okay, this is what makes Pro different from free. We'll start in this first column. You get a whole bunch of help with your business automation. Real-time notifications keep you informed and motivated. These are things like every time an enrollment happens in your downline, a customer or an associate, somebody rank advances, somebody has a birthday or a work anniversary, somebody starts a fast forward, needs to be followed up with on a fast forward, reminders to follow up with people you've recently enrolled. Just so much information comes to you in real time from Genie to keep you on top of your business. For the more senior you are in ASEA, the more you'll love this. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you positive. Things are happening even when you're sleeping, right? And it keeps you on top of your follow-ups. There's a daily dashboard email. In fact, I'll show you that if we have time here in just a minute. I'll show you a daily dashboard email. This is most of the information that you would ever need in the course of a day. So where am I in qualification for the week? The answer to that question is complicated, right? It's well, that depends on my D300s qualifying and where are they in their qualifications, and all of that information comes to you automatically in your email every morning. What do I need to do to follow up with my people today? What happened in my organization yesterday? Who enrolled and who rank advanced and whose birthdays are this week, and all of that stuff in my email. So I can just go and quickly look at that every single day and not have to go drilling into the back office and running reports and scrambling around looking for everywhere for that information. I also have a wellness tracker. This is an automated online tool that asks people subjectively about how they feel about different parts of their life. You know, how is your sleep? How's your energy levels? How's your skin? How's your sex life? How's, right? We ask you about things that are all parts of well-being, right?
I don't think that's
rate
one of
them
the
on a
official
scale from
questions,
1 to
Larry.
10. I really, what?
I don't think that's one of the official questions in the wellness
It's
tracker.
not worded that way. I think there is something though, maybe
We talk
about,
about hormones.
it says libido.
Yeah.
So it's personal and private, and we don't share those answers with anybody else, but it allows you to come up with a score that is your personal well-being score. And we prompt if you're a pro subscriber, we prompt your new enrollee to take this before they ever take an ASEA product. And then every week thereafter for the first 8 weeks, and then every month for the first 6 months, we remind them to take the test again and see how their score is doing. And I can tell you that for more than 85% of people who use the wellness tracker, they see their scores consistently go up as they use ASEA products. It's no surprise, right? And so they stay with you longer because they are knowing that the product works, even though they might not feel it day to day, week to week, they do, and it comes out. Personalization, we talked about this a bit ago, right? You get your own library favorites, you get your own personalized templates and signature, you get to customize the way the Genie mobile app works. This is all for pro subscribers. You get the advanced desktop app, the website that we just looked at, the full screen, full keyboard, the team manager we looked at with all of your team details automatically in there. You get to, we didn't show this, but you get to assign trainings to your team and know what's happening with them. If you assign them a training, or maybe for some people, they don't like that word, you could recommend a training to your team member. And as they complete it, you know that they complete it, which is important for you, especially as you grow. Who are you going to spend your time focusing on? It's sometimes fun to spend your time focusing on people who are fun to work with, but it's actually productive to spend your time working with people who are working, and you find out who those people are this way. And frankly, I love you more if you're a pro subscriber. Sorry, I have my favorite kids. You get priority service from me. You get exclusive trainings like this one. You get invited to participate in product steering. And I pick up your phone calls and answer your text messages personally when we're partnered in that way. So I hope you'll become a pro subscriber. Now, for those of you who are already pro subscribers, we need to make a change right now. A couple of years ago, when we made the switch and Jeanie became fully independent from ASEA, we began a transition, and that transition included having billing be done instead of through ASEA AutoShip, being done directly by Genie Go. And so we've been working on transitioning people from AutoShip billing to Genie Go billing over time, and we're almost out of time to do that. If you're currently being billed through AutoShip still, please, please, please don't let yourself lose your pro benefits or lose our special relationship. You're going to want to migrate your subscription, okay? And I'm going to reward you. I want you so bad that we're going to give you a lifetime discount for staying with us if you've been with us. So you will have already received, if you're one of these people, you have already received emails from me twice. You've already received a text message from me earlier this week. It includes a personalized link that gives you this benefit. Click the link, please. Put in your credit card number. We will take care of all of the hassles for you. We'll automatically, you won't lose anything, right? If you're not due to renew your subscription for another 3 weeks, we won't charge you for 3 weeks. We'll make sure that ASEA cancels your auto ship so that they don't charge you again in 3 weeks. We'll take care of all of that. You just need to click the link and get it done, okay? It's going to take you 2 minutes and you're going to be grateful forever. Now, if you haven't been a pro subscriber before, just through the end of this month, we've been running a special, and there's a coupon code here. Write this coupon code down. It's all caps is important. The dashes are important. JGO-Australia-1M, meaning month, free. You put that in during checkout, and don't worry, it's obvious. There's a spot that says coupon code. You click coupon code, type that in. Jeanie will automatically give you your first month free. Come do that. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. And if you'd prefer, there is an annual subscription option that was never available through ASEA, but is available directly through direct billing. If you want to pay us just once a year, we'll give you 2 months free. It's really a discount equivalent to 2 months, 17%, but we'll give you that for free. So you got that. Now, if you're wondering about how to do it, here's where you go to subscribe. If you didn't receive a link in an email from me, you just type this into your browser bar, geniego.com/subscribe. If you just go to geniego.com, there's a subscribe button, so you can't mess it up. geniego.com/subscribe will take you to this web page. It will first pop up a window I'm not showing here that will ask you for your associate ID. Just type in your associate ID and we will say, "You're Sharon Waters, right?" And you say, "Yeah, that's me." Great. We'll then show Sharon here. We'll show your associate ID. We'll know which currency you prefer. You can change it. We'll accept a lot of different currencies, but Australian dollars will be listed here already, along with the Australia price. You click on GoPro. If you want to be an annual subscriber, click on annual. Why am I doing this with a slide? I could just show you, like, for heaven's sake, I could show you on the web page, right? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Where's my browser again? Browser. There it is. Okay. If we go to geniego.com/subscribe, we come here. It asks us for our associate ID. Again, I'm going to put in a fake one. Put in just a fake associate ID, and it says, "Are you Richard Paulson? Is this really you?" Yep, that's me. Okay. In the case of somebody who already has an auto ship, they get this information. Important, your Genie Go subscription is currently serviced through an ASEA auto ship and must be migrated to direct billing. If you don't yet have a subscription, you won't see that. It'll just pass. And we'll remind you that we're going to take care of your renewal date. We're going to cancel your ASEA auto ship, your Genie auto ship at ASEA. We'll take care of all the details. And then you're here. You can change your currency. There's Australian dollars right there. You can change to an annual plan if you prefer. When you're ready to subscribe, you click GoPro, and Genie takes you through a really simple process of entering your credit card. There is the apply coupon button. Touch apply coupon, type in that coupon code that I gave you a minute ago. I'm trying to remember what it was, JGO-Australia 1M free. I think that was it. I hope that was it. Yes, it was. And see what you get there? Australia 1 month free, saves you almost $30 Australian, and you proceed to check out, put in your credit card number or your ACH information, and you're done. Okay? And that's it for me today. I hope that that was helpful to everybody. I'd be happy to stay and answer some questions, but that's probably good for the recording, I hope. Sharon, did that get you what you wanted for your team? Because if not, I'll give you whatever you need.
You are always amazing, and we are so appreciative. I loved you for the first day I met you because you put up with all of our crazy questions when we first.
I remember that day. Who could ever forget you, Sharon? I remember that day. It was fun. That was a blast.
It was a blast, wasn't it? So I just want to thank you for doing all that you do. I'm sure people have got some questions that they'd like answered, but you're such a great man, and the effort that you go to for each individual is always amazing. I know that I can send anybody to you for their questions to be answered at any time, and you always get back to people with such a beautiful nature, and there's never any stress in your world. So I just want to thank you for being who you are. I know it's in the background, but you never show it.
Wow.
So does anybody have any questions? I know that's a lot of information, and there are some new people on the call today, but is there anything that anyone would like to ask Larry before we let him go?
There was one question from Anya, and that was around the filtering of contacts. And thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much, Larry. Awesome presentation. So when we're in the desktop, when we have the Genie Go Pro version and we have the desktop, we are able to move our contacts between our pool, our list, idle, and done. When we are on the Genie Go version, the Genie Go app version, we have a slide bar at the top. Did you perhaps want to, or want me, or did you want to talk through that, Larry, just to make people aware of what that's for and where that's also heading as far as more automation yet to come in the future?
I would be happy to. Let's do that. I'm going to share my phone screen first to clarify what Justin is talking about. So here is my phone screen, and I'm sitting on contacts. And if I touch one of my contacts, like Larry here, at the very top of my contact screen, I have this progress bar. These are the steps in bringing someone in and getting them productive in your business. These steps are unique to your team. These are the shine bright steps. At the far left edge of this bar, we have people who are just contacts, right? We haven't started working with them yet. And at the far right side of this bar, we have people who are done. I'm done talking to this person. Maybe they've said no, never to me, or maybe they've joined my business and they're now productive and in, and I'm not working with them as a prospect anymore. And in between, I have all these steps that define the process that your shine bright leaders can teach you for how you bring someone in and get them to be productive. Okay, so that is the Genie Go mobile method of tracking where you are in the progress with a contact. It also, you'll remember that Genie Go mobile is newer than Genie Go desktop. So it is the new way, the modern way, the way we're headed. But it isn't the only way, and it isn't the way that Genie Go desktop does it. So let's look at Genie Go desktop and see how it differs. So here I am in my Genie Go desktop. I'm going back to my contacts there. And here, when we look at my contacts, instead of having steps, I have 4 categories here: pool, my list, idle, and done. And this is how we used to do it. It was pretty smart for the time, but now we're even smarter, okay? Pool is the same thing as contacts in the mobile app. Contacts are the people I have never contacted before. So that's what pool means. And if you're in the mobile app and you move someone to the pool, it's the same thing as moving them to contacts in the mobile app. Likewise, if you move someone out of pool in the desktop, it moves them to another step in the mobile app. All right, so pool equals step 0, contacts. Done is the same thing as done in the mobile app. So done is the same thing as step 9. Pool is the same thing as step 0. In between, we have my list. My list is the same thing as the mobile app version, steps 1 through 8. These are the people I'm working with at some step in the process. We've just gotten more sophisticated now and said, we're going to divide my list up into 8 pieces so I know exactly where I am with someone on my list. We haven't yet done that in the desktop app. So Anya, if you move someone to my list using the desktop app, that will move them to step 1 in the mobile app. If in the mobile app, as you move people from step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they will stay in my list. If you move someone from step 0 to 1 in the mobile app, they will move on to my list in the desktop. I hope that was somewhat clear. For those of you using both tools, I hope that that makes it make sense.
And there's more reasons why those steps are there and what's coming in the future, which is,
and I'm not smart enough to train on those, but Justin is. He'll train you on what the steps mean.
for those that love accountability and love tracking their work progress, those steps will be critical as Genie Go continues to evolve. And the more people we got on board, the more people we can support and contribute to Jixity through the Genie Go Pro subscriptions and people volunteering for translation, things like that, the more functionality and the better this whole project gets. Those steps I want to be about our daily method of operation and how we can track and measure that, which is going to be next level efficiency. So yeah, stay tuned. It's getting better all the time. You're amazing, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you haven't got Pro and you're building a business, you're going to need to have that. So I would suggest that you take Larry up on his offer because it's a great offer. But I love Genie. I love Genie Pro because I can just find people and see what's going on. And even Nicole showed me some things that I didn't know how to do. So there's lots more to learn. And if it's all right, Larry, we'll do some more training on the Genie Pro in the future for the people that are. Yeah, great, awesome. Thank you so much. It's 11:03. Thank you for the hour of power. And we can't wait to see you again. Thank you, Justin, for hosting. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I know that it's really early in Thailand, especially. So thank you for showing up and happy building business.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Larry.
Larry.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks,
Sharon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
Great work, Sharon. Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.